Hey everyone, it's Becca. Welcome back to Neurospacey Budgeting. I'm finally going to complete my setup in the Budget Moms Budget by Paycheck Workbook for November and go through some month-end, month-beginning routines of mine. All right, let's start by this. I started putting in the stickers and then I realized that I could perhaps chat with you and update you on what's been going on with me while I do this, and thought that would be fun. You can skip forward if you really don't care. I get it, to the budgeting section, but this last couple of weeks have been so crazy. On top of not feeling well and getting better and taking some time for myself, we had crazy stuff happen. So first of all, I had to go pick up my parents at the airport. They have just gotten home from spending 2 weeks in Mexico City and Oaxaca and needed a ride. So I had to stay up super late one night to pick them up, which I just love. They had the best time and are thinking about going back, for my dad to take some cooking classes and for my mom to take some printmaking classes because she's an artist. I stayed up very late and I get up at about 5 o'clock to get both kids to school. So I felt so old in that I felt like I needed, and it's probably because I was a little sick too, to be honest, but I felt like I needed recovery time from a late night. Oh my gosh, things change. And then 2 days later, I was cleaning up in the kitchen before taking my son to school, and I saw all of this dense black smoke billowing up in our backyard just over the fence line. And I heard a bunch of sirens, so I brought up the emergency services. You know how you can listen to them on Broadcastify or something like that. So I brought that up, and there was a huge house fire in our neighbor's house on the other side of the street behind our house, and it just completely burnt out. It's crazy. No one was home at the time, luckily, and no pets were home, but the home was, it was completely destroyed. My son was like, "Is the fire spreading?" He's really into fires, and my husband was on fire crews and a firefighter for a long time. So he's like, "Is it spreading? Are we okay? Are we safe?" Yes, we're safe. And everyone in the house and the neighbors over there, it didn't spread to any other houses, but it's the second house fire in our neighborhood in the last year, which just is kind of wild to think about. So that happened. I told you it's been an exciting week and a half or so, which is why I have not been consistently filming, which I need to get back into the habit. I need to establish a routine for myself. And then last Friday, my son had a pumpkin patch trip through his school, and we were receiving some crazy storms. And I completely forgot, between trying to keep my daughter's schedule in her school, they go to different elementary schools, her stuff straight and his stuff straight. I'm failing. I feel like I'm failing as a mother right now and being on top of my shit, you guys, but just doing my best. And Friday, it was not my best because I totally forgot they were going to the pumpkin patch and showed up to school, and all these kids are in hats and gloves and rain boots. And my son has a hoodie. He has just his sneakers. And one of the nice ladies that I always chit chat with in the morning was like, "Oh, I got called in and I get to go with them today." I'm like, "Oh my God, it's pumpkin patch day." She's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh my God, he's not prepared." It was literally, the sky was black and pouring down rain. So I gave him my umbrella. There is 30 days in November. So luckily, she's so kind. She was like, "Girl, I am out at recess every day with these kids, and half of them are in shorts, Crocs, not wearing sweaters. He'll be fine." So that was nice of her to say that, even if it's not true. I felt terrible. And I was like, well, I guess I'm raising him 70s and 80s style where it'll toughen him up at least. I got pictures from the pumpkin patch, and his friend ended up sharing his raincoat with him. He had a wonderful time. When he got home, I was like, take off your shoes. I have to see if your feet are wet. Are you cold? And he was like, Mom, my feet are totally dry. And they were. So, there it is. Mom worry for no reason whatsoever. Please tell me there are other parents out there who aren't these like picture perfect parents of Pinterest and Instagram. My daughter, I signed her up for 4-H. She wanted to do dog training and agility. Great. I think it'd be wonderful. Unfortunately, we don't have a dog, and I neglected to ask if we have to supply the dog. Apparently we do. So we are now trying to figure out where we're going to borrow a dog. None of our immediate family members, none of mine, have a dog. Her dad and her dad's brother does have a dog, but they live down in Oregon. It's like a half-hour drive for me. It just wouldn't work. So I have 2 neighbors that my goal to, when we go out trick-or-treating, I am going to ask them if we can borrow their dog and train it for 4-H. All of that to say that the last couple of weeks have been busy on the job front. I had another interview for a sales position, but I didn't have enough sales experience for it. And I knew it would be a long shot. It was to sell for trade show exhibits, and I did a lot of trade shows and buying, and that's most of my professional background has been in corporate event marketing for trade shows. So I got the interview. The recruiter was super excited, but said I definitely don't have a strong sales background. They would still present me because they thought that I could be potentially a very good fit given the chance. And unfortunately, the hiring manager just really they're building a new team, and I didn't fit that. So that's okay. I am just putting out resumes, thinking about maybe some type of medical tech. Should I do that? I just want to feel like I'm making somewhat of a difference and not just working for corporate America and making billionaires more money. I'm just over it. But who knows? I'm still plugging away, seeing what will happen. Okay, that's a little bit of an update. Now I'm going to speed you through me setting up my calendar. I'm going to write in when my bills are due and which paycheck I am taking out money to cover the mortgage and the car payment from my little buffer that I have. And then I'm going to do that on the cadence of when my husband's paycheck comes in from his job. So I'm going to go ahead and update this calendar and speed you through. So here we are, all updated on our calendar. This is covered by the last paycheck pay cycle of the month for October. And then we have payday on the 10th and payday on the 25th. All right, so let's move down. Actually, first, you guys, in my last video, I didn't do my flip through. So this is the calendar spread for November, which I made. It fits the full size and small and printout of the Budget Mom workbook. And then these are the rest of the workbook stickers. I couldn't think of the name again. Stickers, but like glue stick, because I just I just glue them in. So here's the expense tracker. I didn't do this flip through my last video because I was busy. So, expense tracker. And then I don't do my debt payment plan. I guess I could put the car in there, but I just never really use that page, to be honest. The monthly net worth tracker, I was doing that and then I kind of stopped again. I just feel like I'm trying to pay my bills at this point, and this kind of stuff can come later. The monthly budget category breakdown for 26, I do want to get better at kind of tracking that. And then monthly meal plan, I haven't used this at all. But I was thinking it might be kind of good to get into that, especially now that we're down to one income, and thinking about meals. Maybe it'll motivate me to try and get into cooking. I just don't like to cook. And then I didn't, put anything on this page. But that is available on my Ko-fi. I have started some membership tiers, which different tiers include various combinations of this. So I just wanted to share what the rest of the layout looked like since I didn't do that last time. All right, here we are. Why did I pick that out? That's weird. Okay, let's do our budget. Okay, so this is actually for 10/25 because that is when we get paid. And then it will go through 11/10 because that is my husband's next paycheck. Okay. What we are working with the W-2 paycheck for my husband. That will be $18.56. We are now all on his medical, so that typically I was working with $20.56. And when I looked at all the paperwork, $200 is going to be our monthly premium through work, so $18.56. And then from my lump sum, we're going to take the mortgage payment. So I don't know why I was going to say B for Becca, but M came out. So maybe for like mom. Okay, we're going to call it mom's contribution. Gosh, that was a really terrible handwriting. Okay, so $3,700. Well, let's see here. So we have $18.56 plus $3,700. And that will be $5,556. Mortgage is $3,700. I have a story I think I might wait to share later, but we're going to look at a property with my parents this weekend. We are thinking, well, screw it. I'm halfway there. I'm just going to share now. So we're considering multi-generational living. They're looking at wanting to decrease and downsize on their end, and we all get along. So we're looking at potentially making that move altogether. I'll keep you updated. We're looking at, like I said, a property on Saturday and having more of a conversation of what this could potentially look like. So we will see. Okay, so I also put in half of the car payment. I have that come out automatically the 1st and the 15th. Then we have our water delivery. For those that are new here, I do get a water delivery for us, and you guys are going to laugh at me, and the cat to drink, because our public water is not that fantastic. They're putting in a new system, and there's a ton of microplastics and other gunk in that they are upgrading, and I just don't want us consuming that, to be honest. So we do get a water delivery. Subscribe and save for cat food. Subscribe and save for litter is $20. And I didn't get my Prime membership updated to the sinking fund that I saved in time. So I'm going to have another month of that payment, and I am switching it over. All right, we have garbage. Our garbage is every other month. $72. We have now coming down here, gas. I'm just going to put these in and then calculate my totals. So gas, let's do $210. It's been up and down expensive. I fill up twice a week because I shuttle the kids around, and my husband fills up probably once every other week. So we'll see how that looks for us, and adjust as needed. But I was over. I don't know. 210. I'm going with 210. Let's see what that does. And I feel like I'm still kind of figuring out. Gas is one that fluctuates. Groceries, 400. Snooze for my husband, we'll do 80. And then hubby lunch, we're going to do 100. When he's out and about, he has been going to the gas station to grab a snack and whatnot. So might as well put that in there. You know, we are being realistic. We know packing a lunch every day would be nice, but you know, it's not reality. All right, so now I'm just adding up. Well, you guys, how annoying. My phone ran out of storage. I should know to double check my phone storage and delete stuff and move stuff around before starting to film by now. But you know, and I was originally doing this, I was hemming and hawing of what to do. I decided that I would take that $394 and split it in half. I was trying to decide between, do I roll over the whole $394 and don't save anything to have as kind of a buffer, since we don't have two full-time incomes to give us that space. I know myself though, seeing that I would spend that $197 on stupid things, probably DoorDash, maybe like some impulsive spending. So I want to put into sinking funds $197 and then roll over and have a buffer of $197. So that would bring us to $394 into the zero-based budget. This is also available at my Ko-fi for those that aren't a Budget Mom user. I created this printable, which is inspired by that, Budget by Paycheck. So here would be your calendar that you could fill in. I printed this double-sided, but you can print it however it works best for you and however many pages you need. So Paycheck Budget, the thing that I added from last month is doing the tallies and having that left over, so you can kind of add up as you go. The space for that, the cash planning page for your paycheck budget and what you want to get from the bank, and then the expense tracker as well. So sinking fund tracker here, I also created, and I added these white boxes so it's easier to see the total of each category, your starting balance, how much you added, used, and ending balance. And then I just printed however many I will use for my categories, but you can print it how you would like. So you can take a look on Ko-fi for this as well. Let me know any feedback. I am ADD, so I love anything that makes it fun and interesting. I know that really helps me stay motivated. So next up, we have my sinking funds update. I did my September sinking funds tracking, and then this is my October sinking funds tracking. I'll just walk through really quickly the movement. I did not, like you can see, because of my job loss, I was not able to hit everything. So I'll take you through the changes and movement that I was able to make, which I'm very grateful for. Still being able to put in that $197 from my budget. It adds up, you guys. So even that split amongst several of these, over time, we will still hit goals. So emergency fund, these are my high priority, which I try and always stuff with whatever I can. $300. This is October for me, is the end of September into October. So I was still employed for a part of October's sinking fund tracking. So my goal for my emergency fund is $2,000. I was able to put in $300. Ooh, I gotta go to the bus soon. Okay. And I used $90 for an appointment when I did have that job loss. To me, that was an emergency, and my mental health was an emergency. So I took out $90, added $300 with an ending balance of $2,005, which means we are fully funded. when I am employed again, or as we're able to, I will come in and continue to add to my emergency fund. But 2025, one of my primary goals was to fund an emergency fund because I did not have one going into 2025. Travel is my husband's birthday trip. We're saving for, who knows if we'll be able to take it. We will someday. So we're just going to keep saving for that birthday trip. Put in $50, which brought us a total of $270, not fully funded. Car tabs, $15 went in. $440 is where we ended. We are fully funded. My tabs are due in November and my husband's in December. So we are ready for that. That is the first year that I'm ready for that. So exciting. Okay, medical. 10 went in. We're at 185, not fully funded. This is just for like appointments and whatnot. It used to be saving for a surgery that I wanted to have. But that's changed. Now that I'm not contributing to an HSA for medical appointments, this is now going to be for that. Septic pumping, 15 went in. We're at 157, not fully funded. Car principal, 25 went in. 80 is where we're at. I'd like to hit 100 each month. So no, it's not funded, but we will use what we have to make an extra principal only payment. Dental work, 20 went in. We're at 73, not fully funded. Tires, 50 went in. We're at 150, not fully funded. Home maintenance, I'd like to get home maintenance and car maintenance to 1,000 each. 40 went into home maintenance. We're at 430, not funded. Car maintenance, 50 went in. We're at 580, not fully funded. Eagle Crest, which is the trip that our family takes to celebrate my mom and my husband's birthdays since they're a day apart. 20 went in. We're at 400, not fully funded. Family fun, 20 went out, so we're at 35. My husband and son went ice skating at Open Skate because my son is in their program. He's free, but my husband had to pay $20. Not fully funded. Christmas, $200 went in. $16.92 is where we're at. We're not fully funded. I am okay with that. This will cover the four of us, my side of the family, my husband's side of the family. I'd like to get to $2,000 because that was my goal, but this is a healthy fund that we will be able to be just fine on. But I'm still going to try and get that extra money in there to hit my goal. Maybe DoorDash. I don't know. We'll figure out some way to do it. 254 went out from my Halloween sinking fund, which I used. So we're at 0. We used all of it. We love Halloween. Put $10 in my birthday fund. We're at $10, not fully funded. My daughter's hobbies, she spent some money. 30 went out, 2 remains. We put $20 into 4-H. We used $20 from 4-H, which leaves us at $137. My son spent $3 out of his For My People sinking fund. So he's at $4. And I put in $39 into Sawyer's Hockey to start saving for his next cycle. So we have $42 not funded. And my son's teacher appreciation, $4 went in. We're at $7 not fully funded. Pets, $56 went out. We're at $3 not fully funded. And then 15 went out from Costco Run, and we're at $50. So down here, you can see the white boxes that I put in. The sinking funds tracker really helps. So we have our starting balance. We have what we put in, which was $848. What went out of our sinking funds, $488. And then our ending balance is $9388. And this is just good for me. I want to see over the course of time the movement and to have one place I can go and not have to flip through everything to find my balances and take a look at what's happening. Lastly, let's do a giveaway. I have a couple of things here. This first one I thought was so funny. It says the only thing getting lit this weekend are my fall scented candles. It's 3 through 9 and save 50. It's a scratch off. And then this one is a mini. It is laminated, reusable. It's save 75, 1, 3, 5, 7, and 9. Seasonal style. And then this is save 60, 2, 4, 6, 8. And I just thought these were such cute little Scandinavian designs. To enter that, Let's do candle, like the keyword as candle. Somehow use that word in the comment, and you must be publicly subscribed. This is not affiliated with YouTube, and it's open. Let's see, I'll probably post this on the 31st. So let's leave it open just a short period of time until Monday. What is that? November 3rd. So it'll close on November 3rd. Again, candle as the word in the comment, and it will close on November 3rd, and I will pick a winner. Okay, you guys. Bummer that this wasn't a seamless video and that I screwed that up, but such is life. I appreciate you so much. Thanks for sticking around and watching this. I will see you in a new one soon. Bye.